Typical. Welcome to our authors' interviews for Wonderland, and today we have the beautiful MF Moody. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So I'm just
think
going
I
to
have
ask you a few
lag.
questions so the readers can get to know you a bit better. Are you okay with that? Are you ready to
Yep,
start?
that's fine. Yep.
Okay. So my first question, well, it's not really a question. It's can you tell us a bit about yourself and maybe a bit about your books as well for those that don't know you?
Okay. So, as you can probably tell, I'm not native to the UK. The accent is not from any corner of the UK. I'm actually Australian. I moved over here back at the end of 2015. I've been over here 10 years now. But yeah, I live in Kent with my husband and boy child and 3 cats. And I've always been a voracious reader. But even when I was a teenager, I would also write. So I've always had that kind of spark of creativity in me. And like so many people did back in 2020 when the world basically fell apart, I decided that I actually wanted to try and finish writing a couple of the books that I'd started writing and get them published. And my first one, it was mostly written anyway. I just had to get it edited, which I did in 2021, and that was Disconnect, which is a contemporary MF book, which has dark themes. And that just opened the floodgates. And I have so many stories and so many books that I have to write that, yeah, I'm never going to die because I can't. I have to write all the books. But because of the way my brain is and the way I read, as I said, I'm a voracious reader. I will read pretty much anything, which also means I will write pretty much anything. There's only 2 things I will not write. One is horror and one is historical, because I am a horror fan, and the stuff that's in my head is like I don't need to unleash that on the unsuspecting populace. But also because I really do love it. When it comes to historical, my first degree, while I have a major in English literature, I minored in archaeology and history. So you send me down a historical rabbit hole, I will never emerge. You will never get the book because I will just be researching and research. I'm kind of like edging that at the moment with the series that I've currently been writing. But yeah, I will write pretty much anything. So I'm probably most well known for my paranormal reverse harem books, my Altered Shifters Universe books. Or I should say Why Choose, because the first 2 books are reverse harem, then you've got MMF, and then you've got MFM, and the next book in the series is going to be MM, and then there's Polycule, and then, yeah, it's going to cover all different types of relationships. But yeah, I write dark, I do have dark contemporary. Disconnect is my debut novel, and that's got dark themes in it. Then you got Family Justice, which is my MF contemporary dark mafia. And I've got paranormal rom-com, which is My Valentine's Succubus. A bunch of I've got Paranormal and Megaverse. I've done collabs, and I've actually just finished writing a book. It's going out to ARC readers this week, and that's my paranormal. There's a lot of paranormal, but my paranormal monster romance, which is my Would You Love a Monster Man series. And apparently I've traumatized my beta readers with that one. So, but yeah, so I read, I write, I love anything creative and bookish, and yeah, and you guys are kind of stuck with me because as much as I love my home country and do want to go back, my husband is from over here and we live over here now, and yeah, so you're stuck with me, sorry.
Oh, bless. I bet he's happy he's stuck with you. I know we're all glad we got you. So, what does a typical writing day look like for you?
Well, it depends on how my body and my brain are treating me, and if I am like who I'm writing with. So I tend to work better like night times, and if I'm writing with my American friends, I will stay up until like 2 o'clock in the morning writing with them. But if I'm writing here in the UK, it's getting up, like trying to get up and do stuff in the morning where I can, and then around lunchtime, like from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock ish, I will sit down, and generally with a couple of other authors at least, I will try and sit down and do some writing, like body doubling. Now, I do like to get on some of the social media apps, like the Clock app, and do a live there where I'm writing and have people with me and do sprints and everything. I mean, not that it's very interesting to
Yeah.
sit there watching me type because I basically have my headphones on, music blaring, and I just type. But there'll be times when I'll write a line and giggle and I'll just talk about that, or I need a word or something, or I just start talking about what I'm writing, and it means that followers can actually see my writing process and they can be there. They can actually be a part of me writing whatever I'm currently writing. So, and so long as they're generally polite, I'm happy to, like during breaks, I'm happy to sit there and chat with them and about what I'm writing and everything. But you do get a lot of trolls. But yeah, so basically coffee on the computer, like basically coffee on my desk, headphone, my razor, because I've got razor cracking kitty, so I've got the kitty ears that light up. So razor cracking kitty ears on, and I'll
Yeah.
write. And generally that will go until of a weekday, unless it's a Thursday during school term. It's basically I will write until about 4 o'clock, because then I have to go pick up my boy child from the train station after school. On a Thursday, because I have to go do the shopping, I write until about 2:30, because I've got to go do the shopping and then pick him up from the train station because he finishes early. But yeah, so it's basically me wearing
Yeah.
whatever I'm comfortable in. My hair's generally up, messy, just pulled back away from my face. Multiple cups of coffee, headphones with music blaring, and just that's what a day of writing looks like for me. So
Yeah. It's the easiest book, and what is the hardest book that you've written?
well, all right, so easiest books, simply because of the way I smashed them out, because I mean they're not very long. They're only like My Valentine's Succubus is only like 13,500 words, and A Sexton's Work Is Never Done is like 24,000 words. But I basically smashed them out like within a week, 2 weeks. Like I wrote them, edited them, published them with like all in the space of like 2 weeks. Yes, they were short, but I had inspiration from like a writing prompt or whatever, and I just like kind of shiny glomp and just smashed it out. So they were actually fairly easy to write because they were very quick. If I had the chance to go back and rewrite them and add more stuff in, I probably would, but I don't think I will, because yeah, I may revisit those. Like, well, I know I will be revisiting A Sexton's Work in a later book. Yeah, they were fairly easy. The hardest book to write would have been Disconnect, which is my debut novel. And not just because it took me 14 years to write the damn
Right.
thing, but there is a lot of my own experiences and my own trauma in there. And it was very cathartic to write, but it also was very difficult because I had to look at my own situation in life, like my own history and things like that, which was quite triggering for me in some instances. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do kind of use our writing as therapy. It's cheaper that way.
I will say this: the amount of, because I love trawling through Reddit threads as well, and the whole raised by narcissists and just no family and stuff like that. Because while my family is actually pretty decent, I was in relationships with people who were horrible toxic people, and the stuff that I see there, and that's actually
Yeah.
where the book that I've just written, the emotional trauma I have put my readers through, because the stuff that one of my characters goes through with his own family and his own trauma, it's real. It is like people talk about it all the time. I've seen people talking
Yeah.
about that experience, and it's like apparently I hit the nail on the head with so many like things that people would say and the way they would treat it, and just like it's like you just sent me back to my childhood. Thank you, thank you, trauma. And it's just like sorry, but kind of not sorry, because that's also kind of a compliment that I'm not meaning to hurt my readers, but the fact that
Yeah.
I got it so right. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
weird one, because I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, I do love traumatizing my readers. We have the EJ trauma scale, because a friend of mine, EJ Braddock, she's an author as well. She's the one who I mostly body double with. She like number one on the scale is her basically in hysterics, laughing like Muttley Mutt because she can't breathe. And the 10 on the EJ trauma scale is basically she has to go and admit herself into a psychiatric hospital because I have really triggered her that badly. There were some nines. There were some nines on the scale, and she said the book that I've just written, overall it's a solid 8 on the EJ trauma scale. So the amount of times I had that woman in tears. And here's a compliment now, Sharon Jackson, Shaz.
Yeah.
She's not one to get like outwardly emotional. She told me inside she was like, yeah, she didn't show it outwardly, but I hurt her emotions. I'm just like, that's a compliment. I'm going to take that one. So,
Yeah, me and her are completely different. If that had been me, I would have been in tears.
like, I would
We're
love it
like
if you were at this.
chalk and.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When I was writing it, it did kind of hurt, but I wasn't crying over it. I myself wasn't crying, but it was like, yeah. And so the book that, like, I'll get into it in a little bit later, talking about this book, because it's up for pre-order and the release is coming out up very soon. Yeah, it's a roller coaster, because you'll either be crying with laughter or crying because I've ripped your heart out and traumatized you. And it basically it just switches back and forth so quickly from one to the other and back again. It's just and there are 4 chapters in particular that it's just like kind of hit after laugh after hit after laugh after, and it's just like 4 chapters. So yeah, I'm actually quite proud of that.
So my last question for you is, if you could spend a day with one of your characters, what character would you spend it with and why?
See, this is why I choose, because a lot of time I just can't. Technically, I spend my days with Noah. From
No.
Disconnect, because Noah is, well, technically, because Noah is based on my husband. So technically, I spend my days with Noah. I would love to spend a day with Nox, because I make no secret that Nox from my Altered Shifters universe is my favorite character. Is based off a friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, and it would give me a chance to just spend another day with my friend.
Yeah.
I think I like, and I think I'd like to spend a day with Andre, Locke, and Oscar, which are from the book that I've just finished writing, the Something Sinful This Way Comes, because Locke is he's just so much fun and mischievous and chaotic and energetic and kind of ooh squirrel, ooh shiny, but also wide-eyed innocence. Oh my gosh, look at this, isn't this amazing? Andre is actually based off a friend of mine from university who was an absolute sweetheart, and he's just that kind of steadying influence, and I think I'd have a blast with him. And Oscar's just, I mean, you got to read it, but the 3 of them, Oscar is Andre's best friend, and while Oscar doesn't suffer fools gladly, he actually takes Locke under his wing, and it's like Locke is his little brother, even though Locke is older than Oscar. But yeah, and it's just, I would love to spend it, and because they're also fresh in my brain, I'd love to spend the day with those 3. So yeah,
Oh, that
because that
sounds
would be
really
fun.
nice. So very quickly, just before we go, what signings do you have planned for this year?
Sorry, what signings do I have this year?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's just, yeah, as I said, my internet's a bit dodgy. So, okay, so events that I've got, or what plans that I've got for this year, I have five signing events this year. So I have Authors Invade Scotland in Glasgow next month in June, which is going to be here. Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
swear it was only February yesterday. But yeah, I've got Authors Invade Scotland in June. I have Authors in Wonderland, obviously, in July. Then I will be in
Yeah.
Manchester for the and this hurts me, but Indie Lit Book Con, Phoenix Events. This is the last event that they will be doing. So they did Indie Pride, Indie Lit Book Con, Sugar and Spice, things like that. They're not doing anymore. So this is the last one I'll be attending, which kind of hurts, because I love doing those events. But I'll be doing Indie Lit Book Con in Manchester in August.
Yeah.
Then I go to Australia in September for my mum's 80th birthday, and a week out, not even a week,
Yeah.
I fly back into the UK on the Monday in October, and then that Friday I'm in York for the Rainbow Book Fest. That's going to be fun. And then at the end of October, I will
Yeah.
be and this will be my last time attending Authors at the Armories. So I am looking at attending Pacify or Romancify like in the future, but this will be my last time at Authors at the Armories. So, and that'll be at the end of October. So they're like kind of the events I've got this year, and I'm hoping to. I said I've got a book coming out this month. I'm hoping to have another 2 books released this year, with a 3rd book released early next year. So they are my plans for this year.
Oh, I look forward to them.
So
Well,
yeah.
thank you very much for coming on and doing the podcast.
Can I just, if I could just
Sorry,
say,
you still talking? Okay.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
ask.
that's fine.
I did refer to a book that I've just finished writing, and I just wanted to kind of spruik it because it's coming out. So, Something Sinful This Way Comes, which is book 3 in my Would You Love a Monster Man Paranormal series. It releases on the 15th of May. The first 2 books were like 24,000 words and 40,000 words. This one's 83,000 words. It's twice as long as the others. And this is the one that I've traumatized people. Yeah. Pre-orders are up. It is MM, but it is also a very sweet, very emotional, and heart-wrenching story. And I would love it if people could give that a try. I just wanted to say that.
I will definitely give that a try. It sounds really good. So, yeah, thank you again for coming on and doing the podcast with us. And I will see
Thank
you
you for having me.
in the list well on the Facebook, and I will see you at Wonderland.
Yes. And hopefully we'll all be clustered together in the naughty
Yeah.
corner at Wonderland, and we can actually like do our best to live out having a lock in our life because Sharon will be there.
Yeah. I know, bless her. I do love her. I mean, I know I have to. She's my sister, but I do love her outside of being my sister as well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I will see you in a little while.
All right. Okay.